All right, Dan. Two terrible things have happened this week in the NFL. One, Aaron Rodgers tore his Achilles week one. Week two, the Cowboys outscored New York football teams 70 points to 10. And we were the second part of that. At least we scored 10 on them, right?
Sure.
All right,
man,
Dan.
It's bad.
It's bad.
Everything's bad.
It's bad. Well,
Do you want to start talking? Because I have nothing good.
I'm trying to look at the positive side of things, right? Games like these are exactly why we started Jets therapy, right? Like to talk it out, to be in our feelings after these tough losses. Rodgers went down week one, man. I was distraught, dude. I was just like, couldn't talk for a while. Sad after the game. I know we didn't record till the day after, so we're doing a little bit better here today for me. I mean, this is obviously not.
Thanks to you. I would have recorded 2 weeks from now if it was up to me.
This was a total team loss, right? Like you look up and down the chart, the depth chart. Nobody on that field I thought played well today. Garrett Wilson had a few.
No,
and Zach Wilson played well for the first three quarters, I thought. Well enough as Zach Wilson expectations. You know what I mean? First interception, 100% on him. 100% on him. Same thing as the Matt Milano pick. Did not see him. Did not see that dude or saw him and just thought he could thread the needle and couldn't. But then the last three, we throw 4 picks. Yeah, the last 3 picks were on. No, 4 picks. No. The last 2 picks, excuse me, were because we were forced to throw the ball down the field, right? Like we wanted that earlier in the game. The run was not going anywhere. So the game plan then was just get it downfield to try and hoof it. And Zach Wilson couldn't do that, man. But dude,
I'm not even upset with like anyone. Like no. Zach Wilson, obviously, he's exactly who we thought he was and who he's been the whole time.
Yeah.
The offensive line was terrible. I thought that the offensive scheme that we had from Hackett was miserable. Just continuing to allow Zach to drop back in the pocket and just stare at the field, just hoping somebody is open.
Yeah.
There was no scheme. There was no design. When did Zach ever have an opportunity to get the ball out of his hands, quickly on like a slant?
Not until the third or fourth quarter, dude.
Not until late when it didn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
So there was really there was no helping him. The offensive line didn't help him. Zach didn't play his best. The defense, they came up, they did well.
And the defense played terribly.
But terribly. And the refs had some horrible calls as well. The defense
missed a horse collar.
When the defense is on that field for that long,
yeah,
it is what it is. That's what you're going to get. So it's like, it's not even like I'm upset at one facet of the game. It's just like there was so much hype for this season, dude. There was so much anticipation. There was so much excitement. And I truly feel like we're exactly back to where we were last year. Like I feel exactly the same.
Let me stop you there, Dan. Let me stop you there. Imagine this. Close your eyes. Close your eyes.
Okay.
Close them.
They're closed.
You're a Jet fan watching the football game.
Okay.
So much optimism for the game ahead of you. You get there.
Yeah.
Your offense stutters and it snowballs. And you expect, but you're still somewhat in the game, right? Your offense is stuttering, but you expect your defense to bail you out. What year are we in?
I don't know, the last 5 years?
Exactly, Dan. Same old Jets loss, right? Like we say the same old Jets is gone. We say that culture is gone. We preach it. And then we don't even come off the bus on the defensive side of the ball. Now, if Sauce Gardner, right? I mean, again, we talked when we had Brian on about multiverses, right? Incursions, different
I'm
timelines.
I'm so sick of that. If this happened, if
Sauce Gardner caught that, that's a game changer.
Dude, who cares? We would have lost.
No, we wouldn't have.
Yes.
No, we wouldn't have.
If
Momentum
that
is
was
a
a
big
pick
thing, man.
six, we would have lost. We were the worst team. We were completely outmatched in
We did
every
get
facet
outmatched,
of the game.
outcoached. Micah Parsons is an
Outcoached,
absolute animal.
outmanned. Like we would have lost that game. I don't care who you had on your team. We had nothing going for us. Absolutely nothing going for
Maybe
us.
Aaron Rodgers.
And that's like the same mentality because I played baseball my whole life, and that's the same mentality. I had coaches every now and then look back at games, and they'd be like, after we would lose, and they'd be like, "You take away the third inning and that seventh inning, and we win that one." It's like they scored 16 runs in those innings, coach. We lost. We stink. We don't have a bullpen.
No.
Okay? We have one starting pitcher, no defense, and we got 4 hits. Like, don't tell me about the 1 or 2 plays that should have happened for us to have maybe a chance to win.
Yeah.
The good teams don't do that.
That's true. That is true. Good teams make those plays.
I'm so sick. I love
teams make those plays.
But I'm so sick of Saleh in press conferences being like, well, that's a good team out there. That's a good team out there, man. Hey,
on
third down, that's a good team, man. You can't give yourself third and long because that's a good team. So we're not a good team.
Yeah.
That's what you're telling me. We're not a good team because that team's good.
Very good.
Your team stinks.
Arguably the best.
And I'll give it to the Cowboys, and that's why I'm somewhat holding out hope for the Patriots next week. Because you win next week.
Arguably the best.
All is forgotten. I don't know what's going to happen in this little small corner of my house.
You win next week, all is forgotten, Dan, right? We learned a lot.
Not all is
forgotten.
It depends how the game goes. But let me tell you, dude, I am so sick. I'm so sick of 2 things. One being the same old Jets, because this year we thought that was over.
Yeah.
And I was anticipating that being over, and it's not. We're still the same.
Yeah.
2, Saleh continuously talking about the opposing team being really good. And that's why we lost.
You got to give him respect. Respect where respect is due. And I think the Cowboys earned that respect. Micah Parsons is an absolute animal, probably defensive player of the year this year.
So what we're saying is we're an 8-win team. That's what I'm hearing. Maybe if we get 8 wins and we probably miss the playoffs by a game or 2.
You looked at this game. This was a game we could have lost, right? So this is where I'm a little upset. This is a game we could have lost. Not a divisional opponent. They're arguably going to be the top 2 team in the NFC. But like we didn't have to lose like this, right? It just feels so bad. Defense didn't do anything. Zach played well for 3 quarters, and nobody else on the offensive side of the ball without the name Wilson played. The only 2 players were there today. Wilson and Wilson
came out hurt.
We tried to run to the left side of the ball to players who should not be playing, Laken Tomlinson and Dwayne Brown.
Why was Micah Parsons continuously
not be playing?
Dwayne Brown was on an island with him. Why?
Yeah.
Why? We have 17 tight ends on the team. Why isn't not
help hack? And also, where's the creativity?
I was so bland.
Loved the 4th down fake punt. Loved it. Came at the perfect time. Just when we were thinking, man, this offensive game plan isn't working. Something needs a spark. They gave it to us. And then what'd we do? Nothing. Absolutely.
It was like 3rd and 1, and we ran it into the line. It was so predictable. It was so.
Where's Mecole Hardman? Why'd we sign him?
Dude, we saw him catch like 1 ball in the 4th quarter. Just nothing makes sense, bro.
Here's something I didn't realize as well. And maybe we got the wool or the wool pulled over our eyes on this one, man. Guess who led the league in the last 5 years in running backs in fumbles? Guess who leads the league?
Dalvin Cook,
the guy we just signed, and we were so pumped to sign, and it happened, and it happened in the worst time, right? Like,
could have easily been returned for a touchdown too. You got lucky.
Arguable horse collar on that play, right? Could have been a horse collar call.
Yeah, the refs weren't good. That's the only thing I'll say. Like where maybe the game could have gone differently. The refs were terrible. Like
at certain points, I don't think they. Yeah,
towards the end of the game they weren't, but that's when the game was over. It's almost like when the game was over. Like, yeah, we should probably give some calls to the Jets every now and then now because
it's a big momentum shifting times. The refs definitely had a bit of a call, but I don't want to blame it on that, right? If we don't drop the ball as much, if we hand the ball to Breece Hall more than 4 times, maybe things get going a little bit quicker. I don't know, man. I was curious as to where the creativity
How
was.
do your running backs? No one has 10 yards. How does that ever happen to any team ever?
Brees Hall had over 120 of them on 10 last week, and he got 4 carries. Dan, I get load management. I get it, right? We don't know what happened in the practices up to this week. We don't know if Brees was like, "Oh yeah, I'm feeling it a little bit," whatever, and training staff and Saul are like, "Okay, we need to hold him back." But 4 carries.
I'll tell you one thing: Zach's gonna get hurt.
He's going to.
Yeah, he's gonna get hurt.
This offensive line is a liability.
The whole season will derail next week. And I'm going to put an if in there because this is the most optimistic I can be right now in this friggin' video.
Yeah.
If the offensive line doesn't hold up, it's a matter of time before Zach tweaks his leg, hurts his shoulder, tweaks his neck, gets a concussion, and he's out for 4 games. And then you have nobody. So, like,
Tim Boyle, baby.
I guess you sign somebody. I don't know who that person's going to be. That's on Joe Douglas. Who the hell knows? I don't think he knows. This is worst case scenario. He's probably still hiding in a cave somewhere himself after Aaron Rodgers.
Afraid to show his face.
Zach Wilson will get hurt. You can't take the amount of hits that he's taking and think that everything's going to be okay. So when I'm literally just waiting. When he gets hurt, this whole season's gone, bro. This season,
I agree.
Everything we were looking forward to.
We're not there yet.
Wanted to happen.
We're not there yet. And I'll tell you this.
Backup quarterback already.
And let's.
And he is a backup. Look at what he does.
He is looking like a backup. But I'm not letting you bring me down this rabbit hole, Dan. I picked myself up and I'm trying to pick you up.
I'm there. I'm down it.
We're at the bottom of it. We're gonna end it on this. You ready? We learned a whole hell of a lot about this locker room last week when we gritted out the win after Aaron Rodgers went down, right?
When Josh Allen handed it to us.
I'll give you that. Because look at what Josh Allen did this week. 36-10 against the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, I maybe they're not as good as they're supposed to be, but they turned it around, right? So we learned a lot last week, and we're going to learn a lot. This week, we learned a lot. Hopefully the team learned a lot, but we're going to learn even more next week when we go up against the Patriots, who we haven't beaten in 7 years, close 6 or 7 seasons, right? 12 straight games, whatever it is. We need to break the streak. We need to win.
That's it. That's the make or break, dude.
We just need to hope that this wasn't a confidence crushing game for Zach Wilson, because it sure looked like it could have been at the end.
Because like we said, it's not even on him.
It's not. And that's the thing.
It's not on him. It's not on the offensive line. It's not on the coaching staff. It's not on the receiver. It's not on
everybody.
It's everybody.
Not every one person.
It's every single person on the team. Because last year there were times where I was literally like, it's on Wilson. Like he's not being the quarterback who he needs to be in order to win games. That's why he got benched. It was obvious. But like this game just showed and if we didn't get all of those turnovers last week, we would have lost and would have said the same thing. But
I agree.
This week, it's like it's on everybody. It's on the scheme. It's on the play. It's on like the defense tried to hold it together, but when you're on the field for 85, 90 plays, you're gonna get tired and you're gonna let up.
When your offense has the ball for 42 minutes, well, no, your offense. We had the ball for 18 minutes. So that means our defense was on the field for 42 minutes. You're not going to win a football game doing that, Dan. So I hope everybody in that locker room takes a look in the mirror.
I'm so sick of everything looking so hard. Like, even like when we complete like a 9-yard pass, it's like, it's gut-wrenching. It's like, how did we do that? How did we get that pass completed? Everything looks so difficult. And Zach looked better. I'm not sitting here saying he looked like the same old Zach, but we look like the same old Jets.
We do.
It's disturbing. It is absolutely disturbing.
I'm not ready to put a fork in this season. It's game 2.
Me neither.
We're not. We got 15 more. But my goodness, Dan, we come out, we swinging next week. We beat the streak. We beat the Patriots. We're back, number 1 in the division. All is forgotten. This game, done and dusted, didn't happen. Then we go up against the Eagles, but I don't want to talk about that. So
because I do think that the Cowboys are one of the better teams in the NFL.
Arguably the best.
I think they're a top 5 team. So you win next week, you go 2-1, you lose the Eagles. I mean, you're not winning that. You go 2-2.
I don't know. They
you
look
beat
beatable.
Denver, and then you lose to the Chiefs, and you're
Denver
3
looks
and get the bye. And then
you know what we said? I know we had a lofty goals for this season, but we said coming into the bye 3-3 is not bad.
Yeah,
coming
sure.
into the
Even
bye
2
at
and
3-3
4
is
bye,
not
but
bad. 2-4, I'm not happy. 3-3, losing to the Chiefs, the Eagles, and the Cowboys. I think I can take that. I can take that.
Who do the Cowboys have next week? They could be 3-0 in a heartbeat.
I don't know. If it's a New York team, they're probably gonna outscore them. You know what I mean? If it's the Bills, who knows?
Let me look that up real quick. All right, take us off, Gordon. What do you got to say?
That's it, man. I just hope we can forget this one, and I hope this win was not too demoralizing because it's got the stink of a win that like already can derail a season, right? Like we won for Rodgers, we won for Aaron game 1, we were looking good coming into week 2. I even texted you, I was overly confident coming into this game. We've beaten the Cowboys. The Cowboys haven't beaten us in so long, and then I think like the last 3 times we played them. And then we just come out flat. The defense doesn't get off the bus. I don't know, man. Sauce Gardner, I love the man. I love his sauce. I love the wings. I got a jersey. I love Sauce Gardner. I've always been a Sauce fan. He better pick it up these next few weeks. I see these first 2 weeks, he has not come out swinging. Now, granted, we've played Stephon Diggs and CeeDee Lamb, but man, he got work today, I think. It just felt like that, right? Like, and the entire defense did.
Again, I mean, I don't think he got worked, but he didn't do anything special. He just
figured out.
He just did his thing, and I mean, the 2 things were stop Micah Parsons and shut down CeeDee Lamb, and we did the opposite of both those things. It was
opened the door.
Like we just didn't. It's almost like you didn't even know who those guys were. It was like, oh my gosh, well, we didn't know they were that good. You do. That's the only thing they have on offense.
Yeah.
So yeah, all right, everybody. Well,
back at it again next week.
Yeah, next week is really, again, I'm more pessimistic than Gordon is here. Next week is make or break for me. If we go 1-2 and then go into the
gotta
Eagles,
win next week. I'm not disagreeing. I think we gotta win next week.
You have to win.
The team can come out and beat the Patriots at home. We gotta win, man. Gotta win.
Gotta win, buddy.
All right, dude.
All right, man.
Decompress.
Yeah.
Just as the sun sets, it will rise anew tomorrow. We'll be all right.
Aaron Rodgers said, I shall rise again.
I shall rise again.
Man. I mean, I think he'll be back in 2 weeks. That's what I think.
How speedy is that speed bridge, man?
It's not a big deal. I heard it was actually not even torn.
I mean, what
it was actually
Achilles for?
Sprained ankle is what someone told me earlier. So I think fine.
Just duct tape a wooden dowel back there and go. You're good.
Yeah, a little brace and sit back there. I actually think they should give him a little trolley.
Oh, one of those little knee bikes.
I want to see a rule that prevents a quarterback from like sitting in a chair and playing quarterback.
Give him a little knee bike.
I guarantee there's no rule where as a quarterback you can hike it and then sit down.
He can probably still sling it.
Because if you can sit down, he's going to find dudes all day. He's going to go left. He's going to go right. He's going to find me, Cole, who we haven't seen in 2 weeks for some reason, even though we signed him. Call
Nathaniel Hackett.
We signed him for some reason. So you show me the rule where a quarterback can't hike the ball and then go into a scooter and then go and then dish right.
Maybe that's how you get away from Micah Parsons. Ride your scooter around him.
Yeah, ride your scooter. And why can't, you show me a rule that doesn't say that a quarterback can have an electric scooter. Because just a little bit of juice.
I don't know the rules. I can't tell you that.
I don't have the book with me, but I've never seen that be tested. And I would love for it to be tested with Aaron Rodgers. That's all I'm saying.
All right, dude. Before we go too much further down the rabbit hole here and talk about scooters on the field and
go anywhere.
Let's bet we're back at it again next week.
Yep.
Let's go. Quick memory. Goldfish, baby. JETS.
Jets. Bye, everybody.